Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Hedman. Thanks so much for your interest in Level Up. Here I'm going to kind of walk you through how to use the app. So let's exit out of it. The first thing that you're going to want to do is open up the app. So you need to be in Google Docs and have a written paper that you're working on. It doesn't have to be finalized, but there has to be text. You go to Extension and New Session, and that should open it up. Make sure that the students and the teachers have permission to use that. You can email the support. Um, that is listed specifically in the Google Apps Script. If you're having trouble accessing it, a lot of schools will block apps until they get approved by the admin. Okay, so you have this extension. How do you use this? My suggestion would be, and this is from interviewing teachers, probably one of the best ways to do this is you're going to use this app because you want to have the kids reflect and edit their papers and not just throw it in ChatGPT or Grammarly and then give you an answer. You want them to look at their work and try to improve on it. So what you ask your students to do is you say, I want to see you get at least, you can decide on how much time it is each, depending on how much you kids are used to editing. Each level will take about 10 minutes. So you can say, I want to see at least 4 levels um, on this paper before you turn it in. And so you can see a student's level right here that says how many edits they've done as well. You can also click on their writing journal and you can actually see actually what were the challenges and how did they respond one by one here. So what is a student actually going to do is that they can go here and they have to choose what do they want to level up. This is a paper that I wrote ironically about how kids use AI. So I think the evidence is pretty strong, but I'm curious to see if we can find some ways to improve it. The students are going to be asked, why are you working on this? What do you care about? This first take gives the students kind of an emotional response of what it's like to read it. I wasn't sure what the connection between the different ideas. It felt like I needed more information. Okay, well, let's go look at it. Now, somewhere in the paper, it got highlighted, and then they have right here kind of the feedback of how to improve it. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you guys. It's written with emojis and in student language, so it makes it really accessible with really good scaffolding. Think about it. If someone just tells you what to do you always listen? Probably not. So, what actually makes students decide not to follow those types of rules and use AI anyway? I mean, it's a little bit meta because I'm writing about AI. Explain why students don't have to do what you say in those sentences. And so, what it's asking me is like, I'm claiming that students don't have to follow the teacher's advice. Why don't they have to follow advice? That's what it's asking, which is pretty good feedback actually. Um, as there is no way to detect their AI use. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Please don't judge me on that. Then I'm going to push check work. All right, you'll see that I passed on this one and it went up. Sometimes if you give a bad answer, it'll actually ask you to keep doing it. Kids can always skip questions that they don't like. Please encourage them to skip it. Sometimes AI doesn't give good feedback, and that's okay. We need to teach kids that AI is not always correct. They can skip it and they can get a new one. But as you can see, I've leveled up. I've gotten a compliment about it. And we can actually see on here, if you go up to my paper, I'm now at level 3. When you as a teacher receive this, you don't even have to open up Level Up. You can just see up at the top how many times did they do these type of editings. And if you're curious about what they did and kind of like I struggled in one in the past, you can see what did they mess up on and like what did they change it to and what was the talking. So you have all these records of how the students were changing as well. Another way that you can have students reflect on their papers instead of just editing is this reflection button here. You can have them go here. You can customize what these questions are. What went well? I actually have to tell them. I'm just gonna. I learned a lot. I misspelled that. What was hard? Talking and presenting. And then, how can the teacher help me? Try out the app. So it just has a way for the students to reflect on their papers and give you. So you could actually ask kids to do a journal entry every time too. Just these ways to reflect on what we're doing instead of producing something from AI and never actually thinking about what we're making. Really curious what you guys think. Please email me and keep me posted about what would be helpful. Thank you so much. Bye.